You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Now, do you know what? What I want to first say here is I really do have to praise the Manly Sea Eagles because they've taken a stance. And I didn't know this because we talk about Pride Round and there is one in the AFL.
Yep.
But the NRL have never had one. And I think a major reason is because there are a majority of the players who, for religious reasons, don't want to get involved. Manly are the first time, I didn't know this, but they are the first team ever to actually have a Pride jersey this weekend. And unfortunately, 7 players have said, no, we will not play if we have to wear the rainbow jersey.
Couple of things in it, isn't there? I mean, one, you're politicising sport again, and people are getting sick of that. That's one point to make. Secondly, I'm not sure what religion they're talking about or what they're focusing on.
Well, it'll be the same as Israel.
Well, when you look at Islam, if that's what it is, they're against gambling also. But you'd know that the major sponsor is PointsBet, which is written across the front, and they seem to pull that on every...
Is it against gambling?
Yeah.
You sure?
You don't gamble.
You studied Islam, have you?
No, I haven't. But I think that's an understanding that I have.
Is alcohol another one?
I will not go into knowing that I know all about it, but I know that gambling is one that's
Christianity
not.
as well, I don't think supports gambling.
Don't they?
And same-sex marriage, they don't.
So there's never been an issue with the PointsBet sponsorship down at the Manly Sea Eagles. That's never been an issue with pulling on the jersey.
I mean, because the ground that they play at is the 4 Pines Park, so that is alcohol.
Yep.
PointsBet is involved as well.
Yep.
But now that there's going to be a rainbow jersey this weekend, the 7 players have said we will not wear it. So the club have had to stand them down, and good on them. Now, the reason why as well, because Ian Roberts, we know Ian Roberts has been such a great advocate for homosexuality and for the gay community, and he was going to come out into the ground this weekend. He's shattered. He really is shattered. I try to see it from all perspectives, he said, but this breaks my heart. And I understand.
It does. He also went on to say, think about the kids that are playing footy at the moment, coming up through the ages, that might be challenged by their sexuality or trying to figure out who they are. And then you've got a message sent like this by some of their idols possibly and their senior players saying that, no, we're not comfortable with that.
Do you know what's even worse? Imagine if you had tendencies when you were younger and you were in one of these families.
Yeah.
God, that are part of this religion. Where do you go? You have no support at all from anybody.
And equally so, though, if you grow up with a religion, and I can't relate personally to either of these because I'm not hugely religious and I'm heterosexual, but if you grew up with a religion, you don't know any different.
No.
And so it's very...
just one way.
That's right. So no one is winning in this scenario. They've tried to do the right thing, and you've got 2 really confused groups of people.
Yeah, it is. It's really sad. But, like I said, well done to Manly, because you know what? Manly could have gone, well, we don't have 7 players, so we're going to scrap the jersey, but they're sticking to it.
Yeah, they've pushed on.
For them to be the first team in the NRL to actually do it is pretty astounding.
It's huge.
We've come a long way, really.
Massive.
Come on. There should be a Pride round. Without a doubt. That's my say.
Mate, you've said it. I like it.
Shame.
Hang on a minute. He has cracked it. We'll keep you up to speed on that story.
It has been the talking point all morning on the front page of the Daily Telegraph. Rainbow Warriors. Manly players revolt over Pride jersey. I really commend the Manly Sea Eagles for actually doing something about this. We need a Pride round in the NRL, and they're the first team to actually put together a rainbow jersey and go out and talk about inclusivity and getting everyone together. And unfortunately, 7 players have said, no, we will not wear the jersey and we will not play this week. Now, there has been an update on that. There is a press conference today, Matty de Groot.
Yeah, midday today, Manly's going to speak, and a lot of the players and the coaches and the officials who were impacted, and you spoke about Ian Roberts, the first rugby league player to come out as openly gay, is one of those players who won't speak publicly until after they find out exactly what Manly's going to be doing. It looks like at least 3 to 4, but not 7 players will stand down, but are doing it with the full support of Coach Des Hasler, understanding that with religious and cultural reasons, they are choosing not to play. This is Peter V'landys speaking this morning.
We're all human beings at the end of the day, and rugby league is the greatest game for all. It's inclusive. But at the same time, you've got to respect people's religious beliefs and cultural beliefs. And those players are taking a stand, and they've got every right to. They've got freedoms to do so. We live in a free country.
So that's where the NRL's standing at the moment. It's an awkward one, and it's disappointing for what the club was clearly trying to do, but it's also one that the club is imposing this thought on the players, and that's something the game says you can't do.
We've said it before in the game, and individuals coming out and not supporting, and due to religious beliefs, that's their stance.
Yeah, the difference, though, with Israel Folau, and I know that's who you're referring to, is his comments were homophobic, seriously aggressive, and he took it upon himself to make those comments, where in this instance,
that's true.
The Sea Eagles players are being told, you just got to wear this jersey.
Even though the conversation is at this point, and we're down to 3 possible players that aren't comfortable with it based on a religious factor, I think it's still fantastic that this conversation is happening. So it's drawing more attention to it. It's great. It's building greater awareness, and I think this is a note for the other clubs as well to say that we can make this happen, but here's how it looks. There's going to be some division, but we can move forward with this.
Can I get this right? Because today when we picked up the paper, they said 7 players. Now 3 players are now prepared to wear the jersey. Is that correct, MDG?
That's what we understand.
So look, you know what? This is what I'm very happy about as well. Because they may have religious beliefs, but they are also progressive, and I'm hoping that they know how much this means to a young man or a young female who are really struggling to come out in a situation like this, like Ian Roberts did. Ian Roberts' story is unbelievable. For him to come out as the first gay man in rugby league.
He went through hell and back.
And for him to go back to his old club and to deal with this, I find it real hard, but I do get satisfaction knowing that there are 3 players that are prepared to progress.
And there is a purely practical point of view. We're late in the season. Manly and the Roosters are sitting there on the fringe of the 8. They're on 18 competition points. This is a really big game. Now, these players, when it came out, they may have all rallied together. From what I understand, Manly just made the decision, and the first time a bunch of the players found out about it was the photo in the paper yesterday. So this wasn't a group decision.
That was some of the frustration, was it? Because I think in the past, in terms of sponsorship and other sensitivities, they've been brought across it earlier, and there's been an awareness made.
And so they've gone, well, let's not do this.
Hang on a minute.
But some of the senior guys may have been a little bit more imposing of their will on the younger guys. Now they've had time to cool and think about it. I do not believe that Manly are in a position that they thought they'd be in, but they are handling it as sensitively as they can. And I'm pleased, as you said, Fitz, they're still going to wear the jersey on Thursday. They are going to wear it, and if the players don't want to play,
still a step
that's
forward.
up to them. 100%.
The Fitzy and Whipper Podcast.